part two, yeah. So what, you go into the recess, yeah, someone's got to take the pot, so, you know, it doesn't matter who takes it, but you've got a queue of about 10 people, yeah. You've got how the screws stay there, I don't know. The smell in the whole prison is, all it is smelly of is poo, yeah. That's all it smells of, and the screws are standing there shouting and screaming to hurry up, yeah. And when you get to the slop out part of it, you know, it happens quite a lot, you know, that they slop out because you got maybe two toilets above you, all comes down to the same thing. It gets blocked up, so therefore you get their poo from upstairs, not their poo from upstairs, and it comes down to yours, and it fires back, so you get all their poo, and it, mate, it's the worst smell ever, and all the poo's floating around on top of the wee. It's the worst thing you could ever imagine, you know. And you're putting your stuff into the water, yeah, and you've got cold water, not hot water, cold water, and you're rinsing your thing out, yeah. And mate, the smell is just like unbelievable, you know. And and the whole prison stinks. The whole prison stinks. And I told you a long time ago, I'm on about what, from about 80s, 70s, I'm not quite sure really. But the prison, Wandsworth Prison, yeah, the sewers go under the graveyard. The graveyard is what opposite the Wandsworth Prison at the back, yeah. And the sewers go under there, and the sewers collapsed. So they got to get permission to dig up the graveyard. You can imagine they got to start digging it up, and it was for days and days and days that it was like waiting for the rights to dig it up and sort it and do it, yeah. So every day, the whole nick smelt of poo. Woke up because I was on the ones. I woke up one morning and the whole landing, from the twos down, the whole landing was full of poo. You know, it was everywhere, and you got these screws walking about in it, like giving you brooms and mops and buckets and stuff like that, and shovels coming in, big shovels for you to pick it up and put it in, you know. But then you got to go back to the slop out and push it down there, and it's come back again. You know what I mean? It was like, so they had to get bins. They got big black bins in there, and so you had to fill the bins up, and then they'd come in with a barrow, and you got to put it on the barrow, and they take the barrow. Oh mate, it was like, you couldn't imagine. I mean, the amount of disease what's floating around that neck, and you're living in that, you know. You know what I mean? And you think to myself, human rights, Jesus Christ, yeah, that's a joke. You know what I mean? And it was floating, you know, and the screws was just walking around with welly boots on, and then there's you walking around with shoes on and all that, and you're doing that, there's poo everywhere, and you can't believe it, yeah? And then your food comes in on the hot plate. They're making what they do, they make you sweep all the poo past the hot plate, then they put all sheets and blankets down to stop it coming in, so it's high, isn't it? So it's still building up high, because it's still coming out, yeah? And people are coming down, and it's right by the stairs, they stop it by the stairs, and people are coming down to get their food, and the whole place stinks of poo. And you've got it all in the hot plate, you just cleaned the floor, but you can imagine it, you ain't scrubbed it, and it's everywhere, yeah? I'm surprised more people ain't died in there of food poisoning, and it was like, fuck, you know. You couldn't believe it, mate. It's like, honestly, you can't believe it. It sounds like a mad joke, but it's not a joke. It actually happened, and there should be guys that are listening to me now that was actually there when that happened. Yeah, yeah. The whole prison, man. The whole wings. You know, as I say, the sewers went under the graveyard, mate. It was honestly, when I say it was everywhere, and you know, and they never let you out. They never let you out. Even the only people they let out was us, hot plate and cleaners. And you got to clean, you know, you got to go everywhere and sort of like somehow clean it up. And you got people putting towels, blankets by their doors, so the water, and it's all poo water, don't come into the cells. It's mad. It's fucking mad. You know what I mean? But it's like prison, isn't it? You know? And it was Wandsworth Prison, man, was like disgusting, you know what I mean? It was like things you wouldn't believe. But their centre, Wandsworth Centre was like a shrine. It was gleaming. It was like glass, you know. They stood round there like you know, like you couldn't even start to think how they used to stand around there, arms behind their back, gleaming, the floor's gleaming, yeah? And yet your wings are like fucking pigsties, you know, and they're shouting, get out, all that, screaming and shouting, you can't come round here, you've got to do your wipe your feet, and oh, what? Yeah, and they was all bully boys. They was all bully. I'm on about before the fences went up at the end of the wings. I was there when there's no fences, yeah, at the end of the wings. So it was open, or everything was open. Mate, when it kicked off there, that Taffy Ryan, man, that worst screw in Wandsworth Prison, mate, Taffy Ryan, yeah, you know, and he was like, you know, he just wanted it to kick off all the time. He couldn't help. His geezer couldn't hold his hands up, but he was dangerous with his truncheon. I've seen him bash guys to death. I mean, you know, you're standing there, yeah, around, and you want to get stuck in, mate. You want to, you know, but you got to remember this. If you get stuck in, there ain't no one else going to get stuck in with you, you know what I mean? And you're going to get smashed to pieces, you know. And Wandsworth block, the staircase is like that, you know what I mean, like that, and they throw you down there, yeah. And there's a lot of people going down there, mate. There's a lot of people going down there, and well, you don't see them again. They say that they've shipped them out to the different prisons, you know what I mean? Like they do with my mate Peter Kelly, you know, like things they do in prison, mate, is unbelievable. And there's old school out there, I'm on about old school who listen to me, that know about that, yeah? That know about the things that went on, yeah? And could tell you 24/7 what's happened in there, yeah? You know what I mean? Old school, and yet you come back for more. I know it's madness, mate. It's madness, you know. And at that time, when I was there, I think there was 42,000 prisoners in the whole of England. And they reckoned that if it went to 44,000, that the roof's going to come off. What's it now? About 124, isn't it? Something like that now. It's gone crazy now, yeah? So it just goes to show you that in our times, it was like people didn't really come back that many, you know what I mean? But now, they've got it easy, you know? They've got toilets in the cell. Listen, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, yeah? They've got televisions, they've got phones in the cell, they've got DVDs, they've got everything, carpets, curtains, radios, everything they want, they've got in their cells. They get food, they do their own food. It's like, it's all different now. But in my times, mate, I remember my mate Terry telling me something, yeah, and I've seen it so many times. People that smoke here and there. Terry used to smoke a little bit of black on a pen, and you know, just blow it, you know, and it knock it bandy, yeah. But there was people. I'm on about he had it. I know about he had it quite easy, but I'm on about food. You know, food is still the same. You still need food, especially when you're smoking, so you need food. And he was telling me at the time that they put some bread on the window and forgot about it. He'd been up there 2 days, crusts, you know, like. And when he's smoking and he's so hungry, he needs something to eat, and he's laying down there, and he looked up, and he see the 2 pieces of bread on the window. You know, he got up and took it. It was like birds have been there. It's like terrible, but yeah, that's what it's like. That's what prison's like, man. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Everybody hides their bread. You know what I mean? Hide their this, they hide that. It's mad. You know, you're only allowed to take 4 slices. You know what I mean? But people, you know, go in someone's cell, take their bread, run in their cell, take their butter. It goes on 24/7, do you know what I mean? And prisons run on food. Run on food. It's run on drugs. Now, in my times when I was in prison, there wasn't any drugs. The early 70s, drugs wasn't about. Little, maybe speed, a little bit of speed, maybe, I don't know, but drugs wasn't that heavy in there. And if he was caught with like proper drugs like heroin and crack and coke, mate, you'd get killed. They would smash you to pieces. You'd get real bashed up. Now it's witty nitty, isn't it? It's like, if you got it, well, yeah, you know what I mean, you're number one. But in my times, mate, you had that stuff, mate, you was going to get killed. You'd get killed. They'd smash you to pieces, honestly. I only really started to know about drugs is when I went to Albany, you know, and then I went there and they had a bit of path, you know, but it was all down to acid. There was a lot of acid in there, but acid was quite easy to get in. People could put it in a tube and put it up their backside, you know, rather than puff and be a bit of puff. You couldn't earn no money, but with tubes, a tube of acid, you could maybe get like 400 or 500 in there, and, you know, charge you £4 or £5 a time, and it cost you like 25p on the street. So you can imagine the money they was earning. Big money, mate. And everyone's walking around high as a kite. Everyone's walking around so high. I can remember Maidstone. I can remember Maidstone, mate. And I mean, Maidstone was a different place. It was like, you know, all that. This is later on, yeah, 84s, so it was all changing, yeah. You got Pat Adams there. There was a lot of, you know, the Frasers was there. There was the Dorans were there. And there's a lot of people there, loads of people there, a lot of proper faces there. You know what I mean? And I remember that the Frasers, yeah, got in some speed, and on our wing, wheeled wing I was on, it smelt a cat's piss. And they've got this gear in, mate, and it all come out your system. It's all like, it just come out your body, the smell of it, you know what I mean, and the wee and all that. It just come out your body. It was the whole nick smelled as cat's piss. Yeah, I swear. Frasers, yeah. I like Dave and Patrick. They were sweet people, mate. They was all right. They was good people, yeah. They were like the old man. I don't think no one could be like the dad, but you know they were game. The game as anything, mate. Patrick, David, game, mate. I've never seen the son, Frank. I never seen Frank the son. I don't think that he was like David and Patrick. I don't think there was. I think there's another brother as well. I'm not quite sure his name. But David and Patrick were proper people, mate. And when I was in Maidstone, it was a proper nick. There were some proper faces in them, mate. Good people, mate. Good people. I like Maidstone, mate. Maidstone was a good nick. You know, the cell. It's just another thing that's go on and on. But I was just talking about Wandsworth, and I remember being in the hot plate, yeah, in Wandsworth, and you had to go downstairs to the kitchen, and then you wheel the trolley. You wheel the trolley round, and it's all different. Anyway, so you walk down the stairs, and you got somewhere you can come up with a trolley, and I'm walking through the kitchen, and I see a barrow, and on the barrow was loads of ham, yeah, loads of it. So I thought I'd nick it and run up the stairs, right, without anybody seeing me, and put it in my cell. So anyway, I've done it, and all of a sudden the screws are looking everywhere for the ham. The alarm bell goes off. We all have to go to our cells, yeah. So now I'm shouting out the window, anybody got any paper? Anybody got any bread bags? Send them out, quick, send them out. So lions and I was sending loads of ham up to people, yeah. And it was funny, man. It was funny, yeah. I loved all them days. They were good days, man. They were good days. And me, my mate Leslie McIntyre, black guy, me and him go back a long way. Les Christie, mate. I loved him, Les. He can avoid a fight, Les. He's a good boxer, mate. He's one of my best pals, yeah. And me and him, he used to get me doing sit-ups, and I was doing so many sit-ups in a day in a cell, mate. It's like we used to go in the cell, it was empty. It was where all the cleaning stuff was, and we used to go in and do press-ups and sit-ups, yeah. I used to do thousands of sit-ups a day. Never stopped. Never, ever stopped. Sit-ups, sort of sit-ups. I loved it, yeah. Anyway, I do a part 3, yeah. Bang, bang, roll, nice and good morning. Or good afternoon, or no, still morning, yeah, nice one.